Okay. Waiting for the host to put me up there. Okay, I'm up there. Okay, I will speak now to this group for just a second. You translate too.
Should I?
Yeah.
Okay, Maharaj просто будет к ним обращаться, я вам буду переводить просто.
Greetings from Sridham Mayapur.
Привет из Майяпура.
And you're in the middle of another class.
Мы сейчас посреди другого занятия.
So you'll be joining this class.
Поэтому присоединяйтесь к нам, пожалуйста.
And then at 6:30 this class ends.
Через полчаса наше занятие закончится.
And it will just be English.
И мы продолжим только на английском.
Okay, so I'll just give you a peek at all the.
Хорошо, мы сейчас давайте встретим преданных.
Okay. It's also nice giving to a live audience.
Это также очень приятно к живой аудитории обращаться.
But this is also nice, the Zoom.
Ну, Zoom также нормально.
And when I come back to America,
Когда я возвращаюсь в Америку,
we will maybe have some classes at Bhaktivedanta.
у нас также будут занятия живые.
And I see I will go to Colombia.
Потом я поеду в Колумбию.
I have a little ashram there.
У меня есть там проповеднический центр.
Radhikanagi, you have to visit South America.
Марадж приглашает Радхиканагу на прогулку.
Wow. You know, the quality of those people, they have
Качество этих преданных.
the Catholic culture was so strong
Католическая культура настолько там была
that
доминантная,
family and God really still stays in
что принципы Бога и
many
семьи,
people's hearts.
они установлены в сердцах многих хороших людей.
Where in the first world,
Тогда как в странах первого мира,
it's a little bit more rare.
там зачастую этого не найти.
So I really look forward to going down there.
Поэтому я жду того момента, когда поеду.
Okay, it's going to be a 2 or 3 minute thing where I keep talking to them, you in the same time.
Махарадж должен перестроиться пару минут, а потом все будет хорошо.
Well, you're so fortunate
Вы настолько удачливы,
because we're just beginning
потому что мы начинаем
my class
мое занятие
after my 1-hour introduction.
после того, как я сделал часовое введение.
So you don't have to suffer through my introductions.
Поэтому вам не надо терпеть мое введение.
You can jump right to the songs of the
Вы
gopis.
можете сразу погрузиться в песнь Гопи.
And we're explaining what those songs are.
И мы объясняли, что это за песни.
When there is devotion in the heart,
Когда есть преданность в сердце,
any emotion in the heart
любая эмоция в сердце,
has to be expressed,
она должна быть проявлена,
otherwise it consumes you.
иначе она вас поглощает.
So when you have devotion,
Поэтому, когда есть преданность,
it's not just devotion.
это не просто преданность.
Prabhupada never defined bhakti as devotion.
Шрила Прабхупада никогда не определял бхакти как
He defined it as devotional service.
просто преданность. Он говорит преданное служение.
Because when there is an emotion,
Потому что когда поднимается эмоция,
it's thinking, feeling, and willing.
это думать, чувствовать и желать.
You have a feeling, you act on it.
Когда у вас есть чувство, вы действуете.
That's why I always remember in the
Это то, почему я всегда помню
introduction to Bhakti Sandarbha.
введение в Бхакти Сандарбе.
I've quoted this many times.
Я это часто цитирую.
The definition of devotion
Определение преданности
or the description of devotion.
или описание преданности.
That devotion is best expressed in seva,
Что лучшее проявление преданности посредством служения.
which means loving responsiveness to God
Это то, как мы отвечаем своей взаимностью любовной на зов Бога.
through the faculties of the mind, the body, or the words.
Через ум, тело или слова.
Iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira. Nicholas tu avaptasu. Jivan Mukta. So who is the person who is Jivan Mukta, who's liberated in this
Что
body?
это за освобожденная личность уже в этом теле, Дживан Мукта?
He's the person who is Hare Dasya, who's serving Hari, God.
Тот, кто служит Хари, Богу.
Manasa, by the mind.
Манаса, значит, умом.
Manasa, Karmana, by the work.
Работай, кармана.
Karmana Manasa, by the work, by the mind.
Манаса, то есть работай умом.
Gira, by the words.
И гира, словами.
So now we're seeing the gopis' hearts.
И мы видим сейчас, мы наблюдаем состояние сердец гопи.
And their prayer is personally talking to God.
И их молитва – это личностное обращение к Богу.
Someone, I read once that Bhaktivinoda Thakur's chanting,
Я прочитал, что Бхактивинод Такур, он так воспевал.
maybe he had a neighbor who was listening to his chanting.
Может быть, у него был сосед, который слушал, как он воспевает.
And it was like he was talking to God.
Это все равно, что был разговор с Богом.
Sometimes I tried that.
Иногда я это практикую.
My chanting,
Мое воспевание.
I tried to make it in a conversational tone.
Я превращаю это, ну то есть я тон голоса делаю, как будто бы я разговариваю с Богом.
And I would offer my prayers
И я молюсь.
and imagine that the mantra was that meaning.
И я представляю, что мантра несет это значение.
Talking to God.
Разговор с Богом.
So they're talking to God.
Поэтому они говорят с Богом.
And it's prayers.
И это молитва.
And a lot of times what prayers are
И зачастую, что есть молитва,
is you exalt the object of your
вы
devotion.
возвышаете объект своего поклонения,
And then you express your lack of
и
qualification.
вы говорите о том, насколько вы не квалифицированы.
And the greater this
И
distance
чем
is,
больше расстояние растет,
the more you feel you need mercy.
тем больше вы ощущаете, что вы нуждаетесь в милости.
And the more you'll pray for mercy.
И тем больше вы будете молиться о милости.
And the more you'll feel mercy.
И вы будете чувствовать больше милости.
Because if you think this is God
Если вы думаете, вот здесь Бог,
and this is me,
я прямо рядом с Ним,
how much mercy will you feel?
сколько милости вы
But
почувствуете.
if you feel this is God
Но если вы чувствуете, там Он,
and this is
а
me,
я здесь внизу,
how much mercy will you
сколько
feel?
милости мы почувствуем.
So they're saying, dear Krishna,
Они говорят, дорогой Господь,
you are the killer of all the fears of the inhabitants of Vrindavan.
Ты уничтожаешь все страхи жителей Вриндавана.
This is a basic principle of Krishna consciousness.
Это основа сознания Кришны.
Basic principle of Krishna consciousness
Основа сознания Кришны – это
that all our
что
problems
все наши проблемы,
are not actual.
они не реальны.
They're not real. They're perceptual.
Это восприятие.
They're how we're seeing things,
Это то, как мы воспринимаем вещи.
not the way things are.
Не то, каковыми они являются на самом деле.
And that's what fear is.
И это, на этом основан страх.
Fear is due to ignorance.
Он основан на невежестве.
There's that verse in the Bhagavad Gita.
Есть этот стих
I
Бхагавад-гиты.
think I quoted in the last class.
Я на прошлом занятии, мне кажется, его цитировал.
Neha prakamanashosti pratyavayo navidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya chayate mahato. That in this bhakti,
Что в бхакти,
whatever you do,
что бы вы ни делали,
you never lose.
вы никогда не теряете ничего.
Material activities,
Материальная деятельность,
they're not permanent, the result.
результаты не вечны.
But whatever you do in
Но
bhakti,
что бы мы ни делали в бхакти, на пути
it
бхакти,
makes an eternal impression in the soul.
на душе остается вечный отпечаток.
Neha. And it saves you from the greatest type of
И это
fear.
избавляет нас от самого большого страха.
And what is the greatest type of
И
fear?
что за величайший страх?
That at the end of
Что
life,
в конце жизни
you become
я
non-existent.
перестану существовать.
Everything is finished.
Что все закончится.
We're worried now
Мы переживаем сейчас.
if we lose anything.
Если мы потеряем что-либо,
Imagine the tragedy
представьте себе трагедию,
if when you get back to your home tonight,
когда вы сегодня вернетесь по домам,
you're missing your cell phone
Вы не найдете свой смартфон.
and you don't know where it
Вы
is.
не знаете, где он.
Can you imagine the anxiety you
Вы
would be in?
представите уровень беспокойства, который вы переживете.
But at death, we lose everything.
Но в момент смерти мы теряем все.
Not only every relationship,
Мы не просто теряем отношения,
but our very existence.
но сам принцип существования.
And I made up one term that I will share with you.
И я хотел поделиться, я выдумал некий термин.
I have a little pride
Ну, я, конечно, горжусь этим,
in making up good sayings.
потому что у меня хорошо получается.
And here it is.
И вот он.
Death is the illusion of non-existence.
Смерть – это иллюзия несуществования.
We're so afraid of death,
Мы так боимся смерти,
the end of existence,
то есть конец своего существования.
but the end of existence doesn't exist.
Но нет конца существования.
And when you act on a devotional platform
Когда мы действуем с точки зрения преданности,
by engaging yourself in the service of God,
занимая себя служением Богу,
then the activity you're doing
то тогда это деятельность, которой мы занимаемся.
and the person who is doing it
И личность, которая делает это,
doesn't end with the body.
они не заканчиваются с телом.
But when you act on the basis of the false conception of the self,
Но когда мы действуем с точки зрения ложных отождествлений,
what you're doing
то, что вы делаете,
and the person whom you think is doing it
и та личность, которая вам кажется, что является действующей,
will be finished
они закончат свое
at the
существование
end of life.
в конце жизни.
So what does it say in the Bhagavatam?
Поэтому что говорится в Бхагаватам?
The question was asked,
Был задан вопрос,
what is the duty of a man who's about to
каковы
die,
обязанности человека в преддверии смерти,
and what should he not do?
и чем ему не стоит заниматься.
And what was the answer?
И каков ответ?
If you want to be fearless at the time of death,
Если вы хотите обрести бесстрашие в момент смерти,
Harinam Anukirtanam, you chant always the holy name.
надо все время повторять святой.
It means always engaged in devotional
Иными
service,
словами, всегда быть занятыми в
which
преданном
means
служении.
your spiritual practices
Ваша духовная практика
and your duties
и ваши обязанности,
that are sanctioned by God.
которые описаны или определены Богом.
And if you live like that,
И если вы проведете так свою жизнь,
then there's no fear,
то тогда не будет страха.
because what you are doing
Потому что то, чем вы заняты,
and who is doing it
и кто делает это,
does not end with the body.
это не закончится с концом тела.
So they say, dear Krishna, you are the killer of all fears of the inhabitants of Vrindavan,
И они говорят: о Кришна, ты уничтожаешь все страхи жителей Вриндавана.
just like the cowherd boys.
Точно так же, как пастушки.
They're playing
Они играют,
and they look in the distance.
и они смотрят вдаль.
See, in the nature of the Vrindavan forest,
То есть, какова природа этого леса Вриндавана?
it manifests unlimited playgrounds for Krishna.
Он проявляет бесконечное количество пространства для Кришна-лилы.
The unlimited, every day there's a different forest.
То есть он каждый день является в новом образе.
So they see this big cave,
И они видят огромную такую пещеру.
and it looks like it has a red road.
И кажется, что к нему ведет красная тропинка.
But it's a huge python
Но это такой огромный питон,
whose jaws are up to the sky.
челюсти которого разверзнуты в небеса.
And the cowherd boys were saying, is that a cave?
И пастушки задумались, это вообще пещера?
Or is that a large snake?
Или это просто огромная змея?
I don't know.
Не знаю.
Maybe it's a cave.
Может быть пещера,
Maybe it's a snake.
может быть питон.
Anyway,
Так или иначе.
Krishna will save us.
Кришна нас спасет.
There's no fear.
То есть нет страха.
Trust based on experience.
Это доверие, оно основано на опыте.
Because Krishna has always saved them.
Потому что Кришна всегда их спасал.
So they went in.
Поэтому они пошли.
There's no fear in the residents of Vrindavan.
жители Вриндавана не боятся ничего.
Because Krishna has saved them again and again and again.
Потому что Кришна каждый раз за разом спасал их.
And the gopis reveal their heart even more.
И гопи, они раскрывают свое сердце даже больше.
You are the supreme powerful hero.
Ты безгранично сильный и могущественный герой.
And we know you can kill the unnecessary pride of your devotees,
И мы знаем, что своей прекрасной улыбкой ты можешь избавить от ложной гордыни своих
as
преданных,
well as the pride of women like
а
us,
также нас, женщин,
simply by your beautiful smile. One time,
однажды,
when Krishna broke out from the coils of the Kaliya serpent,
когда Кришна вырвался из объятий змея Кали,
and he started to first the snake was trying to get Krishna,
вначале Калия пытался его укусить,
and Krishna would go very quickly,
а Кришна он пируэт делал,
and then the snake would go,
и этот за ним танцевал,
and then the snake got a little tired,
и он немножко подустал змей,
and Krishna jumped on the snake's head,
и Кришна, он вскочил на его голову,
and he started to bang down
и он начал его бить
the heads of the snake.
по голове.
But Krishna's got soul. You don't have that word in Russian.
I don't know.
Krishna has soul, like real.
Well, not in that expression.
It doesn't have enough. Let's see, what kind of word can we use for that?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. I'll get it. Krishna's real spiritual.
То есть Кришна, он настоящий духовный.
And my father,
Мой отец,
he was a dress contractor.
он
He'd make dresses, ladies' dresses.
он был портной
So he had a
для женщин.
loft, one floor,
И у него был такой, как чердак
in an old building
в старом здании
in Harlem.
в Гарлеме.
You ever heard of Harlem?
Вы слышали, что такое Гарлем?
Harlem is a place in New York,
Это место в Нью-Йорке,
which was kind of the African American cultural center of the world.
там темные люди живут.
And when I was young,
И я, когда был молодой,
there was a place called the Apollo Theater,
там был этот Аполло-театр.
and we used to watch a television show
И мы смотрели по телеку какое-то представление.
called Showtime in the Apollo.
Это называлось «Время Аполло»
And they used to have
или «Шоу в Аполло».
Cab Calloway and Duke Ellington, all these
Там
famous
все вот эти
James
вот известные,
Baldwin.
конечно же, джентльмены, они все там играли.
So part of my father's dress factory
То есть и часть моего производства одежды отца
is there were African American and Hispanic ladies
там темные американцы, а также испанские американцы,
well, like Puerto Rican,
порториканцы.
and they used to press the dresses.
И они там гладили одежду.
And when I used to go there,
И когда я туда ходил,
they would not only press the
они
dresses,
не просто их гладили,
but they would be singing these beautiful spirituals.
они все время пели какие-то куплеты.
Oh,
Очень
Lord was a savior. It was like beautiful.
красиво. Это было прекрасно.
They'd be pressing the
То
dresses.
есть они гладили.
So they had soul.
То есть это значит, что у них была душа. Но я не знаю, как это по-русски.
It
То есть
means
у них
devotion and music. It's just in your heart.
Это преданность и музыка, она в сердце.
Actually,
Ритм это называется.
the demographic, the group of people that has the highest percentage of people that are religious and believe in God in America
В Америке это группа демографическая, которая самая верующая среди американцев. Это
by far
И там они в отрыве, в далеком.
are African American women.
Это как это афроамериканцы, женщины афроамериканцы.
By far.
То есть они самые религиозные, и они всех опередили.
So when Krishna's dancing,
когда Кришна танцует,
just like the ladies, they're,
как эти женщины,
oh, the Supreme Lord is my God.
когда гладят примерно.
They don't just work,
Это не просто работа.
the devotion comes out.
Это преданность, она исходит.
So when Krishna is hitting
Когда Кришна бьет по голове
and banging the hoods down,
калию,
it's just the dancing. He starts to dance. It's just within Krishna.
Это в Кришне находится сразу.
Why?
Почему?
Because Krishna is Adi Guru Kalatwam. He's the original guru of all arts.
Потому что он изначальный духовный учитель всех искусств.
So he starts to dance.
Он начинает танцевать.
And it's an incredible dance.
И это такой прекрасный, неописуемый танец.
And the demigods hear about it.
И полубоги слышат это.
And the best heavenly Mridanga player,
И лучшие небожители мридангисты,
which happens to be King Indra,
и это на самом деле Индра,
he comes.
он подыгрывает.
And then there's a planet of drummers.
И потом есть планета барабанщиков.
They're called the Vidyadharas.
Их называют видьядарами.
And they come with all types of drums.
И они на барабанах начинают
And then there's
подыгрывать.
a planet of
И
singers.
там есть также планета певцов.
They're called the Gandharvas.
Их называют гандарвы.
And they begin to
Они
sing.
начинают петь.
And then there's a planet of spiritual rappers in Sanskrit.
Там есть такая планета, там духовные люди, которые исполняют рэп на санскрите.
And they start
Они исполняют,
composing songs and they're all
они
singing.
начинают импровизировать и на лету создают.
And then there's a planet of dancers.
И также есть планета танцоров.
Come the Apsaras,
И апсары,
but they don't dance.
но они не танцуют.
Everyone else is singing, they don't dance.
Но они не танцуют.
Why they don't dance?
Почему они не танцуют?
Because when they saw Krishna dance,
Потому что когда они увидели танец,
hey,
Кришны,
we're not going to be able
мы не
to get
будем.
this.
Да, оставьте.
So this is what they're saying,
Это то, о чем они говорят.
that you kill the pride of your devotees.
Что ты убиваешь ложную
Because
гордыню своих преданных.
when you see God,
Потому что когда вы видите Бога,
you become humble.
вы становитесь смиренным.
Because compared to God,
Потому что по сравнению с Богом
we're not significant.
мы не важны.
And when we think we are,
И когда нам кажется, что мы такие,
it exposes our insignificance.
это показывает, насколько мы незначительные.
Like a glowworm
Например, как светлячок
at night
ночью.
is very shiny,
Он светится.
but if it goes out in the sun,
Но если он вылетит на свет,
it's nothing.
на солнечный свет, его не видно.
So among, the human beings,
То есть, может быть, среди людей
we may think we have some talent,
нам кажется, да, мы талантливы.
but compared to God,
Но если сравнивать с Богом,
we're nothing.
мы ничего.
And we're happy
И мы счастливы.
because we're part of God
Потому что мы часть Божественного.
and we're meant for His service.
И наше предназначение служить Ему.
And we're so happy because He's the worthy object of service.
И мы счастливы, потому что Он достойный объект поклонения.
And that feeling of devotion within our hearts
И это чувство преданности в нашем сердце,
is the greatest happiness,
это наивысшее блаженство.
and we know it,
И мы знаем это.
and we don't want anything else.
И мы ничего другого не хотим.
And therefore,
И поэтому
we don't have that hankering.
у нас нету этого желания.
I want to be God.
Я хочу быть Богом.
We don't want to be God.
Мы не хотим быть Богом.
We want to be the lovers of God.
Мы хотим стать Его возлюбленными.
Because that's the Bhav.
Потому что такова бава.
That's where the pleasure is.
Это то, где наслаждение.
And when you have that,
И когда у вас есть это,
you're not envious of God.
вы не завидуете Богу.
You don't want to be God.
Ты не хочешь быть Богом.
God wants to be you.
Бог хочет на вас быть похожим.
That's the story of Lord
Это
Chaitanya.
история Господа читания.
The devotees have more than me.
У преданных больше, чем у меня.
Because to love
Потому что любить
is a greater feeling than to be loved.
это чувство более глубокое, чем когда мы любимы.
So they're so happy.
Поэтому они так счастливы.
And they say, we are simply your maid servants and
И
slaves.
поэтому они говорят, мы просто твои служанки и рабыни.
Please therefore accept us
Поэтому прими нас, пожалуйста.
by showing your beautiful lotus face.
Явив нам свой прекрасный лотосоподобие.
So this is their devotion.
Такова их преданность.
Okay.
Хорошо.
So I will continue the other class.
Мы продолжим с другим занятием.
Thank you so much
Спасибо вам огромное,
for coming.
что вы пришли.
And if you're here on Saturday,
Если вы все еще здесь,
I give
в
class
субботу,
again.
мы продолжим в 5 часов.
You can all say goodbye also to.
До свидания. Харибо.
Haribol. Hare Krishna.
Харе Кришна.
We'll just give people a few minutes.
Давайте потихоньку выйдем, чтобы Махарадж смог продолжить.
We'll just have a couple minutes. Haribol. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Maybe we can connect some lunch. Yeah, back up home.
All right, let me know. Yes, probably next week sometime, because I'm just every day, every single day, every day. Tomorrow go to Radha Charan. That's Thursday, and then Friday. There's Vishabhanu with the Russian Swami. And Saturday is Madhurika in Rasamrita Kunj with the Radha Krishna deities. You never saw that. You're living here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, send me a message. We're forward now, definitely next week sometime.
You have the whole the same number as before?
Yeah, I have the Indian number and the West number. Okay,
I can put them there. Thank you.
okay. Okay. Yeah, so far, among other things, there's just no COVID here. I think I haven't heard of one case. People are packed in the class. There's, I guess they've achieved some kind of herd immunity. Of course, we'll see in time, but right now, that's what it's like in Vrindavan. There's now a little consciousness of that, a few masks here and there, but more or less. And I was describing to the people here, because I haven't been here for 2 years, that I understood something about prema. And I described, in English we say love makes the world go round. And that's the philosophy of Krishna consciousness expressed in the term rasa vai saha. I am love. God says, I am love. And what love is, what love is an energy between two people in relationship, and the supreme love is universal love when you have that energy with God. And it's reflected here. And I explained that one way in which we understand that, both in Krishna's pastimes and in the world, is that that energy of love between us and others is like a river. And a river flows most strongly when there's two equal embankments. So in the same way, the love between the devotees and Krishna flows strongly when there's the embankments of union and separation. And even in the pastime that we've been studying about the songs of the gopis, they're now in the mood of separation, and they were with Krishna. Now they're separated, and they'll meet Krishna, then they'll be separated. And I really felt that just experiencing that here, because I haven't seen people for like 2 years. And basically, after 2 weeks, I finally went to the temple. I'm in this, and even when I walk out a few times and I just see these people I haven't seen for 2 years, and you can see, for 10, 15 years, so many people have been coming to my classes, and there's a huge, huge community and so many friends and people I have. And you can see that feeling when you haven't seen someone whom you have a relationship with after 2 years. So you can see it's a reflection of the rasa in the spiritual world. Today, over at our place here, this is Jagadish and Yugal have an incredible place. This is their institute. They have a nice hall for their institute. There's so many apartments and on the top, and it's very incredibly done place. And I had lunch with Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, Radha Charan. His wife, Krishna Premi, is often on the Sanga. She's maybe a very nice Chinese lady and Sadbhuj, who is an incredible devotee who is in charge of the TOVP. And we're all good friends, and we meet every year. And I'm surprised, I have to say, it was so good. Okay. I'm gonna see if we can do something today, because I don't want to start something new, and we still have some time. I'd like to be with you. Just see if anybody has any question. If not, I'll wait a minute or so on anything. Personal, spiritual, anything. And while you're thinking, I'll also think of what I can share with you. Okay, I'll just speak. Yeah, Jamuna Jaya, yeah.
First of all, Maharaj, I just want to thank you for that glorification of the African-American women of their spirituality. That was quite beautiful.
We see that with you,
lovely.
Right?
I see it with my mother, and the women. The hospital I perform at is in Harlem, so I see it in the people this time of year. Even though it's a New York City hospital, and you're not supposed to do Christmas, you're supposed to be doing holidays. They're like, oh no, it's Merry Christmas. Praise the Lord. And so I was thinking about that because those women absolutely up there.
Your mother's in a hospital? Did you say that?
No. I was saying the hospital that I clown for the children.
Yeah.
Is in Harlem.
It's in Harlem.
Yeah. So I very much see that. I see that spirit.
So you see the people and the mothers that come in and praise the Lord.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. Oh, yeah, very much so.
Wow.
But so I was really appreciating that. I did have a question about fear, Maharaj, because I'm so happy to hear that COVID is not showing its head in Mayapur, but right now in New York City, we again seem to be in the midst of it once again. And so the question is how to have, I guess that's always been the question, how to have a reasonable respect for this disease and not be
one thing is
be foolish and also not be fearful.
Well, it'll help to not be fearful, to get off the media, which somehow or other wants to pump up the fear. So I was going to speak about that there's something real, of course. I'm not saying there's something real, but fake news spreads 6 times faster than real news. So it's really hard to tell exactly what reality is. Whether it's more or whether it's less always depends on the motives of the people that are presenting it. I'm going to do a Monday morning greetings. A Monday morning greetings called something like the Battle for Our Soul. And someone has encouraged me to watch this documentary on Netflix. I'm not on Netflix, so someone had to somehow send it to me. It's called The Social Dilemma. And it's about these people in social media that started off, idealistic, because they thought, wow, this is so helpful. It's connecting people who's, lost relationships. It's finding people this. But then they saw what happens, that, every business sells something, but social media is for free. So what are they selling? The product is you. And they're selling you to advertisers, so products can be marketed to you. And advertising is successful to the degree that there's certainty that their message can convince you of their commercial interests, not what your interests are. So it describes how they're behavioral geniuses who are able to change your minds. And the business of big tech is to get so much information on you that they can control you for their commercial interests, and including invoke fear if they need, and whatever they want to do. So I don't know, it's a horrible time, and it's a polarized time. But as far as I understand, that this new variant, that when there's a variant of a virus, it becomes weaker. So it seems more contagious, but it's much weaker. So it seems to me, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, so this is not spiritual shastra. It seems to me that it may be a good thing, because if people get it, but they don't have severe effects, they get natural immunity. And natural immunity is much more, I've read the scientific studies, natural immunity is much more powerful than the vaccine, which wears off. They did studies in Israel, the largest study, because they did study of the whole country, that natural immunity is much more powerful than vaccines. So it seems to me that this could actually help end the thing. And I think that's why in India, there's no COVID, because it ran its course, and I think people have natural immunity. So it's really at a particular time, it's called herd immunity. Same thing happened with the Amish. They have herd immunity because it ran in their community, and they protected their elders. About the same amount of people died, and they had herd immunity. Same thing with Hasidic Jews. So I'm not an expert. I may be wrong on these things, but as far as I know, why should there be a freak out now, unless there's some motive for it? If the variant it seems like they're pumping up something, and there's some motive to create so much fear. So, if it was the bubonic plague and there was nothing you can do about it. So it seems that it's just right now the world. That's what the world is. It's, that's why you want to be fearless. I chant here, remember Krishna, that's all. Because that's the way the world is. It's Dukalaya Vishashatam. So, but I don't know there's something extraordinary about this new virus that comes. And if people are vaccinated, what does it say? It says that you're more protected. That's what they say. And if it's less and it's more protected, then why should individuals that get vaccinated be worried? And even people that are not vaccinated, so far, even by the person who discovered it, she's making the comment, why is all this hysteria over it? We studied it, and the effect is not very strong at all. It's like a sore throat, a little bit tired, etc. If you get the flu, you can also die, but no one's freaking out that there's an influenza endemic. So I don't think it's any worse than that now. But I'm not a scientist, but that's what I've gleaned. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay. I generally don't give science, it's not my forte, but I do have some ability to try to understand things more deeply. That's why I write Monday morning readings.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribo, you have a question?
Haribo Maharaj. Sorry, we have no camera today. Shyam Kishore will make the question. I'll translate for him.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribo.
Very nice to see you.
Haribo.
Muchas veces me ocurre que en una discusión
Many times I have this situation when I have some discussions
y alguien me marca un error, una falla,
and someone points out at me that certain mistake or error,
todo menos cuando me marca la falla.
unless when you do it.
Y yo respondo atacando o
And I react attacking.
Y no, sabiendo que esto me ocurre, no puedo cambiar esa.
Knowing that this occurs to me, I can't change this modality, this way of reacting.
¿Qué me aconseja para?
What is your advice to work on that?
Well, there's 3 ways of learning. The first way is, well, there's 3 classes of intelligence. The first class of intelligence is you just hear and you understand. You hear this is wrong or this is right, you understand. Second class intelligence, you hear, but you keep on acting the same way and you keep on suffering. And then you learn. And the third class intelligence is you just keep on doing the same thing. So I think just by hearing about, so I'm just thinking it's just how we grow in Krishna consciousness and I'm just thinking of myself that I've learned to be non-reactive. I've had an experience of someone criticized me, so, really criticized me. So and they, and I didn't care because praise and slander, happiness, distress, helps. That's coming from God. So why should I care about that? So I think as you just hear about Krishna consciousness and you apply it, you gradually get better. And part of that is when we react improperly, we always suffer more. And we suffer more and we suffer more. It just takes time to get the proper understanding. But the philosophical understanding is that whatever's coming to you is for you. It's not the person, it's Krishna. Just like Vidura, when he was insulted and sent out of the house, threatened by his nephew, Duryodhana, and banished from the kingdom, he felt a little pain, but he also had some spiritual wisdom. And he saw that within Duryodhana's external potency, that he was in Maya, he saw the internal potency, he saw the will of God using that to give him a message. So anything that happens to us is not only for us, but it's generally in us. And what's coming to us is actually for us and it's in us. It's part of us. And when it's externalized and we condemn it, in someone else, we don't like what someone else is saying, then it helps us to understand that we should do the same thing. So my suggestion is you just keep on hearing and reading the Bhagavatam and living life. And the combination of the knowledge we have and the frustration we have by doing things which are reactive will gradually give them up. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj. I need to see Krishna more.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right. The Bhagavatam says when difficulties come, we bow our head and we say thank you. It's the essence of religion. Okay.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
I wanted to comment and appreciate the analogy you use of the river, of the two sides of the river being different, and then the river not flowing at the strongest that it could. Because I always thought about like the relationships being in a boat, and if you paddle from one side, then you go in rounds. But this analogy is so much better because then there are middle grounds.
Right. Very good. Thank you, Hemalata.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, we can wind up for today. We got something, but if anybody'd like to say hello. Girma, are you there?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, look.
Hare
Girma,
Krishna.
can we talk in a half hour? Are you free or are you going to work?
I'm going to work. Can you
Let's
give
make
me
it
other
time.
options? I'll email you and you can give me some time options.
Okay,
I'm hosting Christmas Eve tomorrow, Friday. So I'm like
Where?
working and preparing here at my apartment in Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah.
Your family's coming?
Family and a few friends. It's turning out to be about 14 people.
Okay, so give me some times. We should talk soon.
Okay.
And
Thank you so
thank you
much.
for coming on the class. Good to see you.
I was here last week and I was having technical difficulties, but
Anytime you come. I know you come, not just today. Thank you.
wonderful to see you. Haribol Maharaj.
Haribol. Okay, anybody else like to say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, Narmasaki, Haribo.
Haribo, Guru Maharaj.
You're in your
Thank
land
you
now?
for
Is this your land?
yes, yes, Guru. Yes. It's getting dark now.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Thank you for the class. And sorry, I had some difficulty last week due to the very bad, strong weather. Sorry, I couldn't
You
participate in the
you
class.
seem very happy on your land.
Yes. Yeah. These are
Okay.
my doggies.
Haribo. Okay.
Haribo. Thank you so much.
Okay. Akinchana Bhakta, you there?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for class today. Do you have, is it okay to ask a quick question? And if it's not a quick
Sure.
question, like you could email me.
Okay, yeah, sure.
My question was just, I have some friends and other people in my life lately who have started to show a little bit of interest in spirituality and Krishna consciousness, and Varsana through your grace was so skillful and patient and gentle the way she guided me towards it. And I wondered if you had any practical advice about books or ways of not neglecting the opportunity for service and
I
spreading
think
Krishna consciousness.
wisdom of the sages is a very interesting thing that you may turn them on to that, right? What do you think? People seem to like
Yes.
that.
Yes,
It
thank you,
seems to
Maharaj.
be very accessible.
I think depending on the person, you either start with Kastuba or Raghunath, but yes.
Well, they're both there. I think that's one thing. And I think it just depends on your expertise in communication, how Varshana Lali spoke to you, you try to speak to them. The other thing I was thinking of is Pyari Mohan. They moved the temple, but they want that Hartford place to be something for Westerners. So I thought maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, you and Varshana maybe can help with Pyari, can host a program there. And, with kirtan and some class and prasad, and then make something regular where people can come, try this out. And then there's like kirtan and incredible jiva prasad and, and nice people, because those things also could be effective. But just Krishna will give you the intelligence. You can give them one of Prabhupada's books, maybe Perfection of Yoga or something like that. Perfect questions, perfect answer. I don't know, something. Okay, thanks, Akinchana. Anything else?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Great to see you.
You too.
Okay, regards to your family. Haribo.
Hare Krishna,
Hello?
Maharaj.
Kadamba, Haribo, you're in your school?
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm ready for break.
Right. You'll
It's coming soon. I'm ready for it, so.
Okay.
But we're missing your association, Garage. A
Well,
lot.
I'm missing my big bed. Phew. I have to say, in Mayapur, they really take care of me too here.
Good. I'm glad.
This time here. I almost killed myself with the falafels today.
Well,
But
it's a good way to go. If that's going to work.
The Baturi rotis, the pita bread was Baturi rotis. They're sourdough puris fried, sliced. Then there was falafel, cucumber pickles, coleslaw, fries, hummus, sauce, and couscous salad, stuffed.
Good. I'm glad
And-
they're taking care of you.
They're killing me. And then I had that. I had a few of them. But I don't eat anything at night, and I don't eat breakfast till 9 o'clock. So, and then the dessert, these Russian bakers and things. I'm just shocked that I made class. But,
Well, you look healthy, Garage, so.
well, I guess I don't eat from lunch till 9 o'clock the next day, so just a little bit. And I walk a lot. Okay, good to see you, Kadamba.
You too, Garage.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for
Oh,
class. Please
Rangananda,
accept
nice to
my
see
humble
you.
obeisances.
Great to see you. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
When
Thank
is
you. Haribol.
When is the Persian New Year? Is there a Persian New Year? Huh?
It's, yeah, in 3 months.
Okay.
In 3 months, yeah.
Oh, it's not like, okay, different time. Okay. Okay, Haribo.
Yeah, it's different. Thank you.
Thank
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much.
you so much. Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Gumaraj, Tota Gopinath here.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Good to hear from you.
I guess Kishori's already at school, huh?
She is. Yep.
Okay. When are you going next up to Bhakti Bandha?
I think there's a potential date, maybe January 16th. I think that was discussed right before we left, but I don't know if it's completely confirmed, but that's what we're shooting
Okay,
for.
great. It's so nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Haribo.
Haribo. All right. I'm going to head out now. Thank you all. Panchakalpa Trivasa Kripa Sindhu Vaye Vicha Kuti Dinam